These are the newest headphones from Sony, and if you press this little shiny button right here, well, they turn into a pair of headphones unlike any I've ever tested. And if you press it a second time, well, let's just say it takes a special kind of person to do that. These are the Sony ULT Wear, and like that's it, just the ULT Wear. Pretty surprising for Sony to come out with such an easy, simple naming scheme, but they're kind of doing that across their audio lineup. You can kind of think of the ULT as in like ultimate, as in ultimate bass, and that fits. Like these are the bassiest headphones I've ever reviewed. And now that I've been using them for about a month pretty extensively, basically every day, I have a pretty good idea of who is going to absolutely love these headphones as the best headphones that ever existed, and who should probably avoid these entirely. Now, first off, these are selling for $200. I'll have a link down below if you want to get them, but that's significantly cheaper than a lot of flagship headphones out there. So we'll talk about what compromises were made with these. However, they seem to compete in basically every important aspect out there. They have great active noise cancellation, good microphones, good comfort, good app, and a pretty solid design. But let's start off with that, the design. The design of these, to me, looks quite familiar. It looks a lot like the older flagship headphones from Sony, the WH-1000X Mark IIIs, plus or minus a generation, kind of just a simple, minimal, understated design. This comes in 3 different colors. We have black, we have white, and we have forest gray. I mean, let me know what you think. That's not gray. Like, maybe the camera doesn't show it, but to me, this is absolutely a shade of green. I'm not sure why they called it gray, but regardless, call it gray. And it also comes with a matching hard shell case, but I'm really glad that it does come with that case, and in there, of course, a charging cable and stuff like that. But like I said, the aesthetics on here, pretty simple, maybe a little bulkier than I would like, but that does give you some pretty big benefits. So you have really nice deep ear cups, a really plush cushion there, so I can wear these for a very long time, and they're very, very comfortable. The only downside is that the fake leather can heat up your ears a little bit, like it can get a little bit warm if you're wearing it for an extended period of time. Other than that, we have just an all-plastic design pretty much everywhere, fake leather on the top of the headband as well, and you can see if you extend it, there's like a little bit of metal in there, so I think structurally, it should be pretty solid. The ear cups rotate pretty far, so mostly open on one side, completely open on the other side, and they do fold down for the case. Again, pretty nice to see that. And other than that, there's not a whole lot to talk about. We can check out the weight on these, even though, like I said, they are a little bit larger. The deeper ear cups are really comfortable for me, and they are still surprisingly pretty light. So I can show you like some weights here compared to like the Beats Solo and some other headphones out there. By the way, I will be making a comparison video. This is such a competitive space at $200 that, you know, if you want to see that video, get subscribed. I'll be comparing these to the new Beats Solo, the Sennheiser Accentum, and some Soundcore, some other headphones as well. Super competitive space, and I'm really excited for that video. So let's take a look at the ports and the controls. Of course, we have a 3.5mm port for an audio cable. Obviously, we have a USB Type-C port. A downside here is that while it works for charging and everything, it doesn't actually work for USB audio. I wish that it existed here, but not exactly a deal breaker. We have our indicator LED, of course, tells you when you're pairing and stuff. We have our power and pairing button. We have a noise cancellation and transparency mode button. I'll talk about that later in the video. And then we have the alt button. I'll talk a lot more about this in the sound segment of this video, but in essence, that is going to increase your bass. You press it once and it goes from a bassy sounding pair of headphones to like a mind-blowing bass on the headphones. And if you press it a second time, it goes into like a high pressure mode is kind of how they described it to me. It's like it's just massive like skull rattling bass. Like any song you listen to, the bass is going to be so in your face or in your head really. Like it's pretty incredible what they're able to do, but that's what that button's going to do. It also looks really cool, like a nice little shiny button. I don't know, I think it looks kind of nice. On the other side, we have a touchpad. You can swipe up and down for volume, swipe forward and back to skip tracks. You can cup the entire ear with your hand, and that'll bring like a transparency mode. You can hear your surroundings, turns your music down. That's gonna be ideal if you're like on a train and you need to hear the next stop, something like that. You could double tap to play or pause, and you can tap and hold to like, you know, open the assistant or something like that. But also these do have autoplay or auto pause, so I don't usually press the play pause button much. I'll just take them off my head and that'll pause it automatically. All right, and now let's get into a microphone test. This is what it would sound like if I was on a phone call with you using these headphones. Honestly, it's a little bit tough to hear myself through, like there's no easy transparency while I'm on the phone. I'm sure I can enable that in settings, but still, I feel like I have to talk a little bit louder. But regardless, let me know how this sounds to you in an indoor environment. Now let's actually go outside to a louder environment to see how they perform there as well. All right, so here is the outdoor microphone test. There's clearly a busy road behind me. There's really no wind right now, but I feel like I have to talk fairly loudly to hear myself
through the microphones through the pass-through here. But let me know how it sounds on the other end. If I was on a phone call, it would sound something like this.
Now, in case you didn't believe me, this is the microphone on my phone, so it definitely is pretty loud out here. Now, it's worth noting that these do not have an IP water resistance rating, so if you want to work out with these, you can, and they're probably going to be mostly sweat resistant, but there's no technical rating on them. Just, I don't know, maybe that's a cost that they had to save to keep the price a little bit lower on these. But kind of talking about working out with them, if you break it into like 3 levels of, like, running is pretty easy because you're vertical, you're kind of bouncing around a little bit, but level 1 running, these do a great job at that. No problem at all, they don't fall off my head. Level 2, I would say, is like push-ups. So your horizontal headphones could tend to fall off your head a little bit more easily. These, again, do pretty good. Like, they do a good job. I've done push-ups with these, no problem at all. Level 3 being something more dynamic, like doing burpees, maybe boxing, something like that. These are definitely not secure enough for that. I find that, like, because there's not too much clamping force, which I appreciate, it's going to be more comfortable in the long term, but the downside is they could work their way off your head a little bit more easily, or at least for me personally. So now let's talk about the sound of these headphones, and this is going to be a very polarizing part of these headphones, probably the biggest thing that either makes you love them or hate them. So kind of taking this from like a very objective standpoint first, and then I'll talk about my personal opinion on if they're the right headphones for me a little bit later. So these have SBC, AAC, LDAC, and LC3 codecs. So LDAC, very high resolution codec, that's nice. It's kind of expected from a pair of Sony headphones. The sound that you're getting, there's really no other way to explain it other than just mega bass, like huge bass. Like I said earlier, if you just put them on in normal mode, you get a lot of bass, and you can EQ that down a little bit if you don't like a lot of bass. But in general, they're going to sound a little bit dark. The bass definitely eclipses a lot of other instruments on here, and they could even be a little bit dull. Like instruments such as like a snare drum are going to be a lot less crisp on here, but like I said, the benefit is that the bass is very big and very boomy, and for like a lot of people out there, that's exactly what you want. Like people, I can't tell you how many people don't really like more natural sounding headphones and much prefer big bass like these. And like I said, when you press the Alt button once, you get like a bass boost. So if I take them and I listen to a song like maybe Yonkers or Dazed and Confused or something that has like a really obvious prominent bass line, then like, yeah, it's kind of fun. It's just a different experience you don't get with most other headphones. If you press it again, like I said, the second time you press the Alt button, it gives you like this crazy mode where you like almost can't hear anything else, even at half volume. Like you can feel the bass so well in your head. Like it's really impressive what they were able to fit in like just a pair of headphones. Like until you try it, it's really hard to explain exactly how well that works. But like I said, if your favorite song is Dazed and Confused or Yonkers and you just really love bass lines, then these are your headphones. You're not going to find anything else that really does it quite like these. But if you care a little bit more about a balanced profile, or if you want to hear the details of the vocals of the guitar or any higher instruments, then like, yeah, you're gonna struggle on these headphones. All right, now talking about the transparency and the active noise cancellation, even though the transparency didn't really do much to amplify my voice in a phone call, when I'm not on the phone and I have transparency on, or they call it ambient mode, it's actually really good. Like I can hear everything. It doesn't sound robotic. My voice sounds good. It sounds like maybe slightly muffled, like not quite perfect, but still basically I would say as good as the flagship XM5s. Like I think this does a really good job. Now, as far as active noise cancellation goes, again, these do a really good job there as well. It's a little bit harder to explain. Like I like to quantify it, so I'll show a couple of graphs right here comparing the active noise cancellation from white noise. I do a test where I play a white noise at a set distance away. I turn the volume up until these are no longer able to block it, and then I measure the decibels of the volume I'm hearing, compared to some other headphones. So these, like you can see, do a pretty solid job. Probably not the best on the market, but definitely more than passable, I would say. All right, so now let's take a look at the app. You can see this is a classic Sony app. You can see your headphones on the top. They tell you what codec you're using right now, the status of the adaptive sound control, kind of a cool Sony feature that changes, let's just tap on that. It changes based on what you're doing. If you're walking, if you're running, if you're traveling, they can change some of the basic settings on there, like ambient sound control. We have playback controls right here. If you like to manage your playback controls within the app, I usually don't do that. We can go over to sound, and this is where you can change the equalizer. You can turn the equalizer on, and there's a bunch of different presets here. So we have like bright, excited, mellow, quite a few different profiles that we can use on the equalizer. You can also control if Alt is on or off right here, and if you have clear bass, you can tap on that and change what that is as well. Scrolling down, you can see we have find your equalizer, so it kind of helps you figure it out on your own. We have 360 reality audio. That's like what Apple basically copied when they came out with spatial audio. Sony's been doing it for a little while, and I don't personally use it much, but Sony does a really good job with it. And if you're watching, especially like some media made by Sony, some movies, for example, it can be pretty fun. And it's definitely, like, I think they're definitely leading the pack in this front right here. You can choose if you want to prioritize sound quality or stability on your connection. So that kind of goes back to the codecs that you're using. DSEE is really cool. That can kind of up-res some of your audio if you want to. If you're listening to very low-res audio and you want to like basically use some AI here to hopefully improve it or at least get some of the noise out, you can do that right there. And of course we have spatial sound and head tracking on the bottom. I'm not going to do anything with that. Going over to system, these fortunately do have multi-point connectivity. I love to see that. And so you can enable that or disable that. By default, it's disabled. So you can't connect to your phone or your laptop until you toggle that on. You can choose your voice assistant. You can choose the touch sensor to be enabled or disabled. Some people might not like it to be enabled if they are, maybe they just like adjust their headphones a lot and they don't want to pause their music. Right here it says capture voice during a phone call. That is enabled. Honestly, it's still a pretty weak feature. I wish that was a little bit louder. Like I wish I could really hear myself talk a little bit better when I was on the phone. But I mean, at least it's better than nothing. Then we can customize the quick access. So if you press the ANC button twice or 3 times, you can actually customize what this is able to do. So you can open Spotify, for example, with Spotify Tap. I'm not going to do that right now, but a cool feature that we have on these. Automatic power off will save your battery, which by the way is rated for 30 hours with active noise cancellation on, or 50 hours without ANC. I feel like I was getting more than 30 hours with these, but still, like, you know, pretty solid battery for how light these headphones actually are. Autoplay, auto pause, like I said, these do have that. You can disable that if you really don't like that feature. Can't imagine why you would do that, but I love having that. And then over to services, this is like Spotify Tap if you want to set that up, or some other Sony things they'll add over on that side. Those are the Sony ULT Wear, a pair of headphones that I would say are going to be absolutely perfect if you just love bass, if that's your main go-to. And trust me, there are a huge amount of people who that's exactly what you're looking for. But if you don't want a lot of bass, there might be some other headphones that could potentially be better for you. And like I said, I'm making a video about the best headphones under $200, in which I will compare these to like the Beats and the Soundcores and Sennheisers. And let me know if there's any other headphones you think should belong in that video that you want to see in a comparison with these headphones right here. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.